In this episode, we get back to boat projects, wander around the Wynwood neighborhood of Miami, and head down the Florida Keys to the Dry Tortugas. Oh, wow. From there, we jump off on our first multi-night passage to Isla Mujeres, Mexico, where we have a dreamy encounter with a white dolphin and some friendly birds. I've dreamt of taking off in a sailboat to cruise the world for as long as I can remember, and now that dream is coming true. In our previous episode, we explored the Exuma Islands Land and Sea Park. We took a dinghy ride through the mangroves of Staniel Key. We hiked around Wardrick Wells and discovered some amazing beaches and snorkeling. After our 12-hour passage from Honeymoon Harbor in the Bahamas, we dropped anchor off of Key Biscayne and immediately went ashore. I was almost brought to tears by the most intense and wonderful smell of plant life. While the Bahamas are insanely beautiful with many shades of clear blue water, the land itself is quite arid. After 5 weeks of that, the lush tropical Florida air penetrates your senses with every breath. So it's a beautiful day here, anchored outside of Key Biscayne. We're getting serious about our cruising life. As you can see, today did a little hand washing, clothes drying, and Jeff is working on replacing one of our windows. I will be joining him momentarily for the actual install. But this is what we do now. We don't have a marina, so we just do it all on the boat.
This is the third one out of 4. Looking forward to getting these finished.
Yeah, we've got this one here we need to do yet. But one window at a time. We'll get there. We decided to play in the city for a change, so we took the bus into Miami and spent the afternoon wandering around the Wynwood neighborhood. The area is funky with lots of murals and good food, and we love the smorgasbord food truck park. The next day, we headed north to Fort Lauderdale and had the most wonderful dolphin encounter.
Comes a bunch more from behind.
Oh my God! What is going on? There's so many of them. We are preparing for our first multi-day passage to Isla Mujeres, Mexico in a few weeks, so we decided to haul the boat and replace a cutlass bearing and make a few other improvements before we leave the country. The nicest part of doing these boat projects is getting to see my mom. Goodbye, Miami! Goodbye, Key Biscayne! You have been so good to us. So glad we had you. Here comes Stiltsville as we head down to the Keys. There's no wind today, very little wind, so we will be motoring with the wind on our nose. What wind there is will be on our nose. But it seems to be the way it goes. Captain Jeff plotting our course. We left Key Biscayne through Stiltsville, which got its start in the 1930s when crawfish Eddie Walker set up a bait shop on the bay. By the 1950s and 60s, 30 stilt homes were built, and the area became a hangout for boaters, fishers, and clubgoers. After Hurricane Andrew, only 7 of these structures remain. Now they are part of the Biscayne Bay National Park. There's our course, heading out the channel, all the way out here, and then heading south to Rodriguez Key. Is our next destination. Will take us about 8 hours to get there. We motor sailed down Hawks Channel and spent a night off at Tavernier Key and then on to Boot Key and grabbed a mooring ball at the Marathon City Marina. This place is quite the cruiser destination. Fortunately, we arrived just after the winter rush and were able to get a mooring ball. Where's our boat? Somewhere out here is our boat. I remember we were by a boat with a blue hull. Yeah. Oh yeah. They got their dive tanks. Still don't see us. Oh, there's the blue hull boat up there with the wind generator. There we are. I see us. I know we're in silhouette, but we're left of that catamaran up there. Wow. How many boats are here? 150? Raggedy Ann. Look at that cute little thing. The marina has everything a cruiser could want. They even had bikes that we were able to use to get our groceries, a community garden with fresh herbs and veggies, and an occasional manatee visitation. After a few days, we headed to Key West and then off to the Marquesas and the Dry Tortugas National Park, which is on the last and most remote of the Florida Keys. So what are you doing?
Testing the water, making some water, and just checking it.
It's all good?
It's all good. 390 parts per million.
Alright.
So I'm going to switch it over so it can go into the tank. Tastes like a mountain spring. Except it's not cold.
We have to go almost upside down to get in there and turn it on and turn it so it's pumping into our tanks. We had a glitch. So that much up on them. These waves make it a little interesting. So that alarm sound is just our AIS telling us that it sees something ahead of us. We'll remove that target.
What was it telling us?
Yeah, it lost its target.
Oh. Huh. That one that's... Oh. Okay.
It just does that every once in a while.
Yeah, that's from way back, I guess.
Yeah. So we've got 16 knots true. 17, 18 feet. Boat speed is 6.6, 6.5. Any given moment. Whoops. Hands in the... You can see the shadow of the sail in the water there. Feels like the wind's let up a little bit.
Yeah, it's 17 now, where it was 14. Maybe it changed the angle a little bit, so it feels like that. I think it's come around a little bit more to the east.
Yeah. Land ho! Where's my finger? There it is. Over here. I can see it. Here we are, approaching the Dry Tortugas. The Dry Tortugas are home to Fort Jefferson, one of the nation's largest forts from the 19th century. In addition to the fort, there's also a small campground and picnic area. So we made it. There's Fort Jefferson over there on Garden Key. The key is only accessible by ferry, seaplane, or private boat. We wandered around the fort and went snorkeling off the beach and dock pilings. Back on Mandala, we had an unexpected guest visit us for dinner. While rinsing our spaghetti pan off the back of the boat, Jeff noticed something very big was swimming around. We thought it might be a shark because of its size, but it turned out to be a giant Goliath grouper. We think it came by to snack on the little fish eating our spaghetti. And you could literally hear each gulp resonate through the boat.
Here's our giant grouper. Massive, maybe 200 pounds or something. We just saw him suck down a fish or a squid or something.
Oh, you can see his dorsal fin. Oh, wow.
Wow. And this guy is so huge. He's on the hunt.
I think he's snacking on those little fish. Just went down again. I might have to go snorkeling with him tomorrow. Unless he would eat me.
I don't know. We have no internet, so we can't look it up. We could ask the park rangers.
Oh my God. Look at him. Oh my God! Oh my God! I know. From the Dry Tortugas, we plan to jump off for our next big destination, which will be Isla Mujeres, Mexico. It will take about 3 days and require us to pass through the Gulf Stream twice, once between Florida and Cuba, and again between Cuba and Mexico. So here we are, just left the Dry Tortugas heading towards Isla Mujeres. Our first leg is to cross the Florida current and then snake along the north side of Cuba. But weather is not working for us very well. Wind is very light. We're trying to sail because we don't have enough fuel to motor the entire way. to Mexico. And this morning was supposed to be our best chance at decent wind. Now we do have our spinnaker up, but it's pretty light. How fast are we going?
Maybe about 3 knots.
Yeah, 2 to 3 knots. Slow progress. Are we on course?
Close. Almost on course.
Yeah. It's just not the happiest sail right now. I'm trying to decide whether we're just going to take it down.
It's better again now.
Yeah. Keep hoping for wind, but it's really not even in the forecast. Well, I don't know if you can see this through all the glare, but this is our course, and we have 329 miles to go. There's our wind at 125. It's at 130. And we have 105 feet of water below us. We're going pretty slow. 3 knots. Boo. One of my favorite things about passage making is you never know what magical things you might see.
Albino looking baby.
Oh wow, look at that.
Maybe that's just the color of babies. I don't know, but all white. Got a spot on it.
I don't think these are bottlenose.
Yeah, it was more than this earlier. There's at least a dozen. Maybe they like their sail, they seem to be attracted to our boat. Shoot off over there.
Yeah.
Real fast. There's Vinny in the back checking out the spot.
It's like being inside of a parachute. Going around the western end of Cuba, we were visited by some small, tired birds. They flew around the boat and eventually came into the cockpit to rest in the shade. One even made itself comfortable on my head. It was so cool to offer these little guys some shelter. They provided entertainment for hours. We aren't sure if they are swifts or swallows or something else. Thank you for watching this episode of Sailing Mandala. Please join us next time as we explore Isla Mujeres. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel.